What's good, everybody? Remember 17 here, and as you see right there, this is not a joke. We have UFC 5 full reveal. Apparently, it's going to happen September 2023. So we're going to take a look over at this trailer. It's nothing too big. It's about 15 seconds, but it is confirming that UFC 5 is going to be here. Full reveal, September 2023. So what does that mean, right? What does that mean for UFC 4? They still have been updating the game, right? We're still getting fighters. We're still getting all this good stuff. But what we can take from this, we have to look at EA and EA's patterns. Now, those of you who know, in my channel, I am a game changer. I do work alongside EA Sports with helping out with the games and whatnot. So does Marshall Mine. Him and I are both game changers that work together. So we aren't able to say as much as we'd like to say, but we can go off of what's already visually presented to us. So they've already announced publicly that the game was already in development, right? Like they're focusing more so on the next iteration of the next UFC series, because UFC 4 has been out for 3 years now. It's been 3 years. And now today's the day they choose to let us know, hey, full reveal September 2023. Now, what does that mean? That can mean a couple of things. Now, we have to go back and look at, UFC 3, for example, right? If we look at UFC 3, right, and we look at whenever this game was released. This game was the initial release date for this game was, it says February 2nd, 2018. That's an official release, right? But prior to that, a couple months before that, there was a beta that was played, and the beta was allowed to be played for about 2 weeks or so. For UFC 4, the beta was much shorter, and it honestly needed a lot more time, right? I believe that one was only for like a few days, and then they let us go again for another week. And I'm really hoping that in this case, if they're going to do some type of beta for this next iteration of the game, that they allow the community to get about 2 to 3 weeks. Why is this important? For 2 to 3 weeks of being able to beta test a brand new game, especially a community playtest. If not a community playtest, then maybe if they want to have content creators do that, okay, that's cool too, to bring more eyes in. But the reason why it's really important to have a beta that go on for a longer time is it allows players, extremely smart players, or players who are egregious, so to speak, players that are cheesy, whatever, they're going to show us what all the cheese is. And that's going to help pinpoint, all right, this is what we have to fix before launch, right? This is what needs to be, we got to take out this, we got to take out this, because I'll give you guys an example. In UFC 3, when the beta was dropped, there was already a glitch, like the first leg kick somebody threw was always going to be guaranteed for Rock. Then there was another glitch, like the 1-2 head kick was always automatically a KO. Like it was always automatically a KO. So it's really important that the more time that you have with the community being able to play a beta for the game, you're going to be able to make your own job easier with providing the said necessary fixes. Now, that being said, of course, EA has history with not having too many happy customers, but one thing that's generally consistent with the last 2 cycles of the game is that when the game is released, you can probably expect about the first month to have a couple of like fixes and patches. And usually that runs up to about 8 to 9 months. After that, their resources tend to go a little bit down and they start to kind of limit what they're working on. So it's really imperative that in that time frame, that not only the community is able to eloquently let us know what to fix, it's much better for if you're reaching out to myself, if you're reaching out to Marshall Mine, if you're reaching out to bigger content creators to get an eye on something, that you say what it is and identify the problem, or we can identify the problem for you, and then we can present that to EA as concise as possible so we can get the fixes done. It's not enough to be like, oh, this stuff is broken, this is not working, this it doesn't help anybody. So if we're looking at this September reveal, my guess is going to be, all right, hopefully they're going to allow us to like play test it or something, like a community play test like they did for UFC 4. And I would like it to be about 2 to 3 weeks. I think that would be more ideal. I would be very disappointed if it's the same short time as it was for UFC 4. I'd be really, really disappointed for that. That wouldn't be good at all. But this is great. This is exciting news because we've been waiting for a new game. Like if we look at UFC 4, it was released August 14, 2020. And we're coming up on August real soon. So it's going to be 3 years, right? 3 years of this exact game. And it's a lot to, try to keep the content going. Of course, like even now, players are constantly getting better. We've been having the same striking system, and honestly, it's pretty solid. It just needs a couple of tweaks and et cetera, et cetera. But that's going to be it. There's not really much to go off of on that. But what I'm really trying to get y'all to understand is that this is an opportunity to be like, all right, if we get this game, right, don't get just caught up and just playing the game and then waiting to see what happens. Any issues that you have, present it to myself, present it to Marshall. If you have to add us on Twitter, you have to add us on or drop a message on our YouTube channels. Go on my Discord. I have a Discord link. Just ask me for the Discord link and I'll drop it right there in the comments. And if you find like some type of issue, if this is assuming that there's going to be some type of playtest, which I would hope so, it makes sense, that will allow us to help make this game significantly better for y'all. But I'm really excited for these news. I was like in the middle of rolling when I saw it. I was like, son of a bitch. So like I got back to the crib. I'm like, all right, we'll do something real quick. But that we're going to leave it at that. I appreciate all of you guys. We're going to have a Robbie Lawler showcase uploading soon after this. Because Robbie Lawler is going to retire today. So that's going to be a fun one. But Romero 17, I appreciate y'all. I am out of here.